the Ambazonian, special loyalty. Praise to our Savior who granted us the freedom. And legend to the hero for God alone we gather. Glory to glory, we rise and never to fall. Here in a nation, flowing with earth and holy. Glory, glory, glory to the Father for making you a nation, a joy forevermore. Ambazonia, land of freedom, you shall live in plenty, meet in our need, and your children shall be like the stars above. The Most High God being the watchman of this nation. Ambazonia, land of freedom, you shall live in plenty, meet in our need, and your children shall be like the stars above. The Most High God being the watchman of this nation.
Revolutionary greetings, my fellow Ambazonians, patriots, nationalists, comrades on this journey of liberation. Today, while families and homes celebrate Father's Day, the Ambazonian father is under brutal occupation. Their humanity taken from them. Their rights as fathers desecrated. Their homes invaded. Their children spot for brutal terrorists. Father, no human being will tolerate this absolute devaluation of what a father is. Our humanity taken from us, the humanity of those we love and protect, torn right in front of our own eyes. On this Father Day, all over Ambazonians, we have our fathers at the front lines. Fathers, brothers, sisters. They've left kids. They've left their wives. They've given up their lives to protect our people. All over dungeons in Ambazonia and La République du Cameroun, we have them in there. In Norway, we have another father of Ambazonia in there. On this day of the father, I want to send a special greetings to all these fathers of Ambazonia in the refugee camps, in the dungeons in La République du Cameroun, in the dungeons in Norway and all over the world, in refugee camps and dotted in every single place on earth. Who, on this day of the Father, we recognize you, we recognize your fight for yourself, for your families, for those you love, and for your nation. In every single sphere, whether you are a taxi driver, a truck pusher, a doctor, an astronaut, you stand for Ambazonia. We recognize you today as a father of Ambazonia. A great Father's Day to you. Revolutionary greetings, my fellow Ambazonians. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. On this 15th day of June 2025. This is La République du Cameroun, the brutal occupation force now terrorizing large swaths of our people, is a country in collapse, beset by internal strife, defeated in the north by Boko Haram, crippled within by crushing economic crisis, its political entity hijacked by a criminal gang propping up a corpse as president. We face a country that is a paper tiger, a country in name only, a country whose reason for stability is the genocidal campaign against the people of Ambazonia, whose rallying cry to its citizens is the destruction, dehumanization, and humiliation of Ambazonia. Call to rally its people to the flag. The promise of the loot from Ambazonia. The desperate enemy that our people face. My fellow Ambazonians, you all saw the images of the revolt against this brutal occupation from our people in the Atlantic region. They stood up and they put themselves on the line to cry out the pain of a brutalized people. And our forces have done nothing but respond when our people cry, putting themselves at risk, offering their lives so that a little part, any part of our land that they can prevent the horror from La République du Cameroun from visiting these communities. Our forces in FACO did just that, putting themselves even in a situation that was deemed not optimal for operation. But because of the cries of our people, our forces put themselves on the line, and we lost a soldier of Ambazonia that was buried this week for that action. I want to send my condolences to the families, to the forces, to our forces in FACO, and to commend the leadership of their brigade, who looked at their lives as lives of sacrifice, and our people when you hear they take our leaders and they call them names like they are calling the leader of this revolution, Dr. Cho Lucas, in Norway, reflect on what our boys, our soldiers, our men and women are doing. Oh, who the terrorists are on the field. I say this because not about 72 hours ago, the exact same scenario happened in Battlefield Bui, where our forces alerted to the cries of our people as La République du Cameroun terrorist occupation forces rampages through one of our villages in Bui. 2 of our forces on duty alerted to those cries, having alerted the barracks of Colonel Ayaka and Brigadier Ridwan against intelligence advice provided that the attack by La République occupation terrorist forces on that village was an ambush to bring our forces out to protect the villagers, for them to be assassinated. Against that intelligence provided to those forces, they could not leave our people in the hands of these terrorists. Vanguards, we lost in Bui. Burials, their burial has taken place. May they rest in power, and I offer from the bottom of my heart my condolences to the families. Commend the commanders of these 2 barracks, tactically deployed their forces and trapped these genocidaires as they left those villages 3 days ago. Our forces created an ambush to pay them for what they did to our villagers and for the death of their colleagues. I want to commend the sniper of Riwan out the driver of the lead vehicle. That was a confirmed key KIA on the spot. That crippled the vehicle, and the forces of these 2 barracks rained hell on them. We know that the driver of the lead vehicle died. We know of another soldier who was shot and fell out of their armored car onto the ground. Those were 2 confirmed killed there, but we know that their casualty was heavy. To our forces, it is difficult, very difficult, to stand on the sideline when you see innocent women, children, old men, the infirm, being brutalized. The Ambazonian people need you. We need you to end this war. The response of our forces must not and can never be emotional. We must be tactical. Always. Always. Because the most precious cargo in the lifeblood of our nation are those who have willingly given up their lives so that others might live. Review the intelligence reports that you receive. Listen the advice and the tactical awareness of your commanders, and beat La République at their own game. That is what we have done the past 8 years. That is what is going to win us and has won us this war. To the commanders of these two barracks, we thank you. A grateful nation, thank you for making sure that genocides do not walk in and out of our communities unscathed. To our commanders in Momo, this week, you receive intelligence reports of La République incursion to brutalize one of our villages in Momo. Following that intelligence report, our forces deployed our defense against genocide and crimes against humanity on the field. We saw how the explosion of that device divided the road into two and prevented the column of genocidal forces from entering into our community. I commend that action. We thank you. And our operations unit must continue in effective manner that this past week has shown. Over the past week, in battlefield Ndonga, we have been having an evolving situation. On the 9th of June, following intelligence report, our forces confronted genocidal forces from La République du Cameroun moving in column. The battle on the 9th was fierce around Tong village. Both sides pulled back. Our forces suffered no casualty. The forces from La République du Cameroun, their terrorist occupation forces, suffered heavy casualties. That was on the 9th. On the 12th, La République du Cameroun forces returned, intent on their mission of brutalizing and terrorizing our people. That was around the Akko region. Comrades, the War Council put out a report on that June 12th because this was as significant as the events in Momo, in Fako, in Bui, where La République du Cameroun sends in their genocidal forces into our communities to engage in civilian harassment and the displacement of our villagers, of large swaths of our communities. These forces conducting this operation around Akko read the report that the War Council put out, raided the homes of villagers, looted, assaulted and tortured our people, kidnapping others and demanding ransom from them. Of those villages evacuated, and those who were able to escape into refugee camps in Nigeria. Were going on. Our forces regrouped after the battle on the 9th. On the 13th, we launched another campaign against these occupation forces. My fellow Ambazonians, I can report to you that our forces routed them. They had to evacuate their casualties into Kambe. And we know for a fact that one of those casualties included a chief warrant officer. My fellow Ambazonians, these are not isolated incidents. What I have reported to you is a systematic campaign to terrorize our people, order for La République du Cameroun and their henchmen and allies to create the atmosphere of organizing what they term an election in our territory for their presidency. So let me be clear. put at a political malcontent. A terrorist went out and killed 2 political leaders in the Minnesota State House. The governor, the police chiefs, the administration, responsible administration, all the tactical gears and thousands of policemen to deploy, even the National Guard that they could deploy, looked at the situation and asked the population to stay at home, that it wasn't safe, looking at what was going on, for them to come out. This is not a state at war. Servants, no matter their differences, political leaders in a country where they have all the rights. Everybody have the right to go to the ballot box and change them if they so wish. They killed. But still, people were asked not to go out because it was unsafe. And then you tell me that in a land that has been at war for 8 years, with the brutal massacres in communities and villages, that you are going to come and you say it's okay to go out and campaign and do politics and try to organize an alien election? in a foreign land, in a war zone? Who are you going to hold responsible? The Cameroun government and all those who decide to go out from now on in a war zone bear responsibility for anything that happens to them. Look, this is my job. Tell the greedy, the stupid, the coerced, the blackmailed, to tell all of this that there is danger. Don't put yourself in that danger. I don't do this as a threat. It is a fact. And if you ignore that fact, it will be irresponsible of me to also not acknowledge that fact. So this is my acknowledgement of the fact. Even as I tell the Ambazonian forces to respect our code of conduct, to make sure that we respect that code of conduct and the Geneva Convention, that is the line that we draw. Because even though we are not signatories to that, our nation stands for laws that protects the dignity of man. And we implement laws and take action to correct those laws that dehumanizes man. And that is what we are doing in Ambazonia. No election, nothing, anything from La République du Cameroun crosses the Mongo. You do that, you have yourself to blame. Keep it over there. As I wrap up my briefing for today, I want to urge my fellow Ambazonians, nationalists, patriots, there is something. Just as I was coming in to my briefing, the SG of the Ambazonian Defense Forces alerted me to something, that death chair. And I opened my phone, I looked at it, and there is an image there where one of our barracks have just had the delivery of 3 rail guns that goes in to free our land and protect our people. 1 barracks, 3 guns, just this minute as I was coming in here. There is a great movement going on right now where the Ambazonian people are standing patriots to hold the line as the CIC has launched the clarion call. Hold the line. So there is a campaign going on now, the Hold the Line campaign, where Ambazonians are banding together to meet a set amount that the CIC has set that must be put in for the Hold the Line campaign on the ground. The CIC will launch it. The campaign is already on. And I thank all those who have stepped up and are stepping up. We are going to change the atmosphere. with the Hold the Line campaign as a shout out to the leader of the revolution and all those who are held in the dungeons of La République du Cameroun. We will hold the line. We who are home, we who are at the front lines, we are going to hold the line. So right now, doors are being knocked, phones are being called. Step up and link hands so that we hold the line. May God bless you. May God bless Ambazonia.
Hail this land of glory, we the Ambazonian, pledge our loyalty. Praise the soul of Savior who granted us the freedom. I never saw the hero who brought the lonely gather. Glory to glory, we rise and never to fall. Here in a nation, flowing with and holy. Glory, glory, glory to the Father for making you a nation, a joy forevermore. Ambazonia, land of freedom, you shall live in plenty, meeting our need, and your children shall be like the stars above. The Most High God being the watchman of this nation. Ambazonia, land of freedom, you shall live in plenty, meeting our need, and your children shall be like the stars above. The Most High God be